that piety is to follow Quran and to accept even the little that Allah is giving you, and to be ready to meet Allah, to be ready to live this life. So this is another understanding of piety. So this is the reason why Allah doesn't have child, because all of us are the same level to Him. This is one reason. Another reason, if Allah has a child, He must take care of him, and He must be worried about him. He must arrange the best for him, no matter this son is good or bad. So Allah is God, and all of us are in one level to Him. وَلَمْ يُولَدْ, and was not and will never be born. Allah is the creator, He was not created. Anyway, how many minutes we have to stop praying?
6 minutes.
Okay, so when it is time for praying, we can take a break. Now we keep going, inshallah. So Allah was never born, because born means created. And Allah is the creator, He was never created. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, did not and will never have any equivalent. Of course, this is normal and this is reasonable, because if there are two gods, they are equal, then they would fight. Today I believe in this God. If tomorrow I move in my believing to that God, then they would fight. The first God would say, no, this person, you have to return him back to me. He was believing in me first. Then the second God will say, no, he was living in my part. Taiwan belongs to me. He was living in my part, not your part. Allah says in Quran, if this earth and sky had two gods, they would be damaged. They means the sky and the earth. And Allah says in another chapter, if there were two gods, each God will take his belongings. So this is the understanding of chapter 112, which is Al-Ikhlas. Once the Prophet Muhammad SAW, after praying to her, he told his companions, he said, I will recite 1/3 of Quran to you. So the companions, they were, surprised that how come it is after Dhuhr and how come the Prophet Muhammad SAW will be able to recite 1/3. So he recites قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. He said this equal to 1/3 of Quran. Once one of the imams in another city during the period of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, whenever he lead the prayer, he recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. So the people who used to go to that masjid in that city, they complained to the Prophet Muhammad SAW that this imam, he is always saying قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. So the Prophet Muhammad SAW asked that imam, he said, why you always recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ? He said, I love that chapter and I feel very happy and relaxed when I recite it. The Prophet Muhammad SAW said, because you love this chapter, this love will lead you to paradise. It is time for praying now, so 10 minutes break and come back inshallah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So now we move to chapter 113. Actually, chapter 113 and chapter 114, they have connection, and inshallah today we will learn this connection. In fact, chapter 112, 113 and 114, when they were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu never sleep without reciting each one of them 3 times. And of course, Ayah 255 from chapter 2, which is Ayat Al-Kursi. Those the Prophet Muhammad SAW used to recite them before sleeping and at the morning, the first thing when we wake up. The meaning of chapter, or the name of chapter 113 is Al-Falaq. Actually, what is the meaning of Al-Falaq? The right meaning of Al-Falaq is to break the thing into 2. Or to move from something to the opposite of it. For example, the night and light the night and morning, the time that is between them, that the time that is moving from night to day, that time called Al-Falaq.
比方说，从夜晚要到黎明之间，就是要从黑夜进到白天这个改变的这段时间，就叫做 Al-Falaq.
Which is supposed in English to be the dawn.
就是黎明，就是说
Supposed.
交界之前啊，黑夜跟黎明交界之处叫做 Al-Falaq.
So this is the meaning of Al-Falaq, but it is not only related to this thing. It is related to anything that is moving from the thing to the opposite.
但是不只是这个黑夜到黎明，任何的东西，就是从一个地方，或者从一个阶段到另外一个阶段或另外一个地方，都可以叫做 Al-Falaq.
In this chapter, Allah is asking us to seek refuge in Him
在这一章，阿拉叫我们去从他那里得到庇护，
from 4 things that we are facing in our daily life.
要对抗我们日常生活常面对的4种东西。
So we start, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. You, Muhammad, should say, and of course, whenever Allah is saying something to Muhammad, to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, it is also to all of us.
阿拉的开场白是说：“你穆罕默德要这么说。”当然，阿拉说“你穆罕默德要这么说”的意思，这个“你”是代表所有我们大家。
You, Muhammad, should say, I am seeking the protection or the refuge in Allah, who is the Lord of the dawn.
阿拉说：“你穆罕默德要这么说，我在寻求阿拉的保护，他是黎明的主宰。”
Now here, to make it more clear, it is not only the Lord of the dawn.
我们讲清楚一点，他不只是黎明的主宰。
The meaning of the Lord of the dawn is the Lord of everything is changeable.
这个黎明的主宰，他的意思就是说，他是不只是黎明的主宰，任何一个在交替的、任何在改变的这个事物，阿拉都是主宰。
And the Lord of everything that the day and night are through them.
任何的事物呢，它有这个日夜交替的，都是在阿拉都是这个主宰。
So this means the Lord of everything,
他的意思就是阿拉是万事万物的主宰，
in everywhere and every time.
不管在什么时候，在什么地方。
This is the right understanding of قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ.
这段阿拉伯经、古兰经的经文的意思就是这样子。
Now, as I said, one time, Allah is saying, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Muhammad, you Muhammad, and all of us say, I am seeking refuge in Allah.
阿拉告诉先知穆罕默德说，我们要去向阿拉寻求保护。
From what?
要去对抗什么东西？
First,
首先，
min sharri ma khalaq. Min sharri ma khalaq. Against the evil within his creatures.
求他帮助我对抗受造物内部的邪恶势力。
Now here, someone may say, so this means that Allah create evil, Allah create bad things.
所以有人可能会问说，阿拉他创造了邪恶的东西。
Right? Someone may ask this question.
有人可能会问这样的问题。
Everything Allah create has bad and good.
阿拉所创造的每样东西都有善有恶。
So, for us, all of us, we could be very good, we could be very bad.
我们所有人都可以做一个非常好的人，也可以做一个非常坏的人。
Now, when I am saying, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ, so I am asking Allah to protect me from all the bad and evil thing within everything Allah create.
所以，当我们念这段经文的时候，就是在请求阿拉去帮助我们对抗受造物里面所有各种邪恶的，或是有些破坏的一个势力。
For example, Allah create snake.
比方说，阿拉创造了蛇。
Is a snake an evil? Is a snake